from game one. So FoFo will have his, what I'd consider his best champion and most iconic champion, especially going back to the LMS, available. And BLG, surprisingly, just going to go straight for the Jarvan.
Yep.
For Rare Adam, I wonder what this opens up, right? Because I don't know if you'd want to go back to, you'd want to go to the Aphelios yourself now with that Thresh being out of the picture. This seems like an incredibly Rare Adam
only Leyan, right? Like Nidalee and Rek'Sai, I believe it was first banned the Rek'Sai before as well, Lyrics. So, or at least as part of it. So Leyan locks it in. Everyone's like, man, all this priority on Lee Sin, Jarvan, like, you know, the Xin Zhao obviously banned. Why would he pick Rek'Sai?
I can't wait to see Leyan, Xiaopeng, and Chieftain going at it, right? Because, heck, Chieftain was the OG Rek'Sai player in the LPL. Maybe not the OG, but the OG in recent years. I don't go far enough back in LPL to know the OG Rek'Sai player. But, man, this pick and ban phase is going by extremely quickly, as now Rare Adam having Gwen up in the top side. So, going to have that mixed damage coming in for jungle the top side. 4 potential ganks to come out on the opposite side, though. Doggo having that pop off in game one just says, I'm going to go right back at it. I don't feel too threatened by what you've picked up so far, and going with the Nautilus as well. So Chris going to be able to stay on point with those skill shots. And now we're going to see solo lane bans coming out in 4 or 5. RA, it's like wipe the sweat off their forehead, say, thank God we can still ban away FoFo's LeBlanc.
That's right. You know, start targeting this mid laner once again. You already talked about his reputation that preceded him coming into the LPL, and his performance in the LPL has been stellar, to say the least. Mid laner that doesn't get talked about enough, and we want to see that here on BLG. Lyric, before we go into the next pick and ban, just want to note as well, seeing Jinx versus the Aphelios once again. Both are great picks at the moment, so I want to see if BLG look to set up Doggo and Chris once again, because that's what WeiWei was doing that whole game. And as they take away some of the stronger solo laners, it does feel like you rinse and repeat what was so successful in that first game.
Now for the second ban coming out from the side of BLG in terms of supports, we do still have, you know, certain picks like Braum left open. I guess we do have Enchanters still on the board, which for Yuyanja, right, we don't really know. We haven't seen a whole lot of Yuyanja. Heck, this is Yuyanja's first series on Rare Adam, and instead of just matching support with BLG already showing, RA saying, hey, Viktor is the highest priority mid laner left open. You will not have a good answer to this pick. I'm just going to take it out right now. The ball is back into FoFo's court of where he wants to go with it. Rise is something he has gone to time and time again. You do have things like the Zoe, but I don't especially love Zoe into what RA have picked up with things like Gwen on the opposing side. So maybe going for this Rise and then a top lane pick to answer into the Gwen. Ooh. Okay.
So this can still flex Lyric, but, you know, I'm assuming with FoFo's credibility, it's going straight to him. Actually, they're both players, so we'll see.
I was going to say, I would actually expect this more to go up towards that top side.
Okay.
Be able to lane up against the Gwen pretty decently. I mean, Akali against most top lane matchups, you get to solidly farm, melee champions, have that impact later on in team fights that you're looking for. And they do decide to stick with the Orianna once again. They do keep having champions that can very easily set up for a massive shockwave to come out. And also just giving more support over to Doggo, being able to have that command protect for him to be able to make those Gale Force plays like he did in game one. Braum was already something we hit on that I'd expect to see out of the tank pool, unless RA do have something more interesting. Ooh, Alistar actually would work as well, right? Champions that can keep BLG at bay. So Braum, Alistar, I think Braum is a bit nicer to go with what they have. You're going to have Akali, Jarvan, Nautilus all jumping in at you. So going to see what Yuyanja can do to make sure that none of them can be able to take iBoy and Strive out of the fight. And Leyan going to be a bit of the early game bridge to see if he can find opportunities to help them get an advantage going into that mid and late game where they do have these two massive hyper carries.
I was going to ask you the fact that for RA here, I see engage from Rek'Sai, and I see, you know, a lot of defensive capabilities from Yuyanja. I guess what, it doesn't matter because you have people like Breathe, WeiWei, you know, you talked about like FoFo with Shockwave, people that want to come into you. You just wait and let BLG make the first move.
For RA, yeah, that they want to be hiding out in team fights. They want BLG coming to them. They want to be on objectives first to set up for those plays to be able to come out. Leyan later on, going to be useful for his Tremor Sense. You will be able to try and turn, maybe flash knock up someone on the opposing side. For the side of BLG, I think it is a lot more fun. Their composition has more, I'd say, kind of dynamics to it with the Akali pick coming out, to where it's not just this like, okay, look for front to back team fight with the Aphelios. No, Breathe coming in on flanks, creating a lot of space in side lanes and buying time with the Shroud as well, putting so much pressure on these immobile carries in the back line. This is what Akali thrives at doing. And then while Akali's serving it as that distraction, you're allowing Doggo to deal with the front line and put out big damage. So yeah, for BLG, we're going to get to see what they can do with this Akali pickup in topside.
Because if we look at Breathe, I mean, he's that carry style player again. I want to see if it's Turbo Chem Tank or if we get the normal Akali we've been seeing in the LPL. It is Conqueror up in that top side as we return you to Summoner's Rift. And for Doggo, wouldn't be the start. The Winter's Bite hits. He might have to flash here. iBoy on the chase. 2, 3. Heals on up. Won't get stunned. But a heal is burnt as he checks around the corner and is punished hard for it.
So at least getting one summoner spell out from that is going to be pretty nice for the bottom lane laning phase of iBoy and Yanja, especially with how much they were punished in game 1 in terms of the 2v2. We can say 3v2 with how much WeiWei did hover around that bottom lane, but I like that you bring up the Akali point. We have not seen any of the Chem Tank Akali here in the LPL just yet. The runes don't really give anything away as to what he will go for. And we're just going to have to wait and see. And I think the most interesting part of this early game is I pause because
Opposite side.
Breeze's going to spot him out. Both top laners.
Yeah. On the exact opposite side, we're just dancing around the alcove. Cube hasn't spotted him out, but Breathe knows he's towards his left side brush. So Breathe, right now, here's a Noah. And for Cube, he doesn't know. And as the wave starts
who gets up first? Oh,
I think Cube. Cube will, well, he's already spotted out, so Breathe just knows. The Cube's still hovering around, and I guess Breeze's going to miss a bit of CS for it, and so is Cube just to dance around. As, wow, that's early. Lyric, that's a level 2 gank. I mean, WeiWei's just walking at Strive, and he's just forced out of his mid lane.
We hit on earlier in the day in our first series, right? This is one of the strengths that Jarvan brings, being able to look for these types of plays. You did force another Corrupting Potion charge coming out from Strive, and nothing's really going to change, right? Strive circles back to lane, is still going to be the one having pressure in this matchup. And hit on what I wanted to talk about earlier, right, is what jungler's going to do. Because I think that is the most exciting thing about this early game. Have Jarvan and Rek'Sai, 2 champions that want to be looking to enable their lanes, want to be looking for these early ganks to come out, especially with them pathing towards opposite sides. Though, for WeiWei, he is doing red into his single target camp, so he will end up back on the bottom side of the map. So maybe some attention being paid towards both bot lanes, especially when, for Leyan, right, you have the Akali up in top lane, so quite hard to be able to take down. So I wouldn't be surprised if Leyan just puts more attention towards this bottom half of the map.
All right, now it's going to be taking away the Raptors. WeiWei clearing off the Wolves. He'll be late to this show, especially with a couple of spins. Leyan should be able to clear this. WeiWei moving in now, but there you go. Way too late. Leyan clears the whole camp and gets away with it in Lyric. I've noticed through the jungle with that little clear, Leyan is up, but even topside. Cube, he started on the wave first with those shenanigans. He's up almost 10 CS. In the bottom lane, iBoy the same with the heal being burnt by Doggo, and mid is even, so RA actually have 600 gold at extra at 3.5 minutes.
The early game play to bot to get Doggo's flash making a massive difference, and even the fact that, right, WeiWei pathing away from his bot lane at the start, making sure so Doggo and Crisp having to play a bit more safe. Cube would win out in early laning phase against the Akali. I think in extended skirmishes, Cube just having more raw DPS than Breathe does at this point in time. Breathe, though, still, as long as you're staying relatively close, right? I feel like that's all BLG's comp needs to do. We're going to see if either lane can just outright smash the laners of BLG, but that does sound a bit unlikely when you consider the players that BLG does have on their roster. Is we're going to get a replay in the lower right corner.
Happening. Okay, we can stop. The dredge line. Wait, Yanja. Okay, alright, well, that was Lyric, that was a replay.
Hey, they were zoned off the wave.
Also true.
They were staring each other down. They were wiggling back and forth. But guess what? Pings are coming down.
True.
WeiWei's making his way over. Does have flash available?
The big CS lead. WeiWei wants to trade that, and you know, strange to me because we've been seeing them zoned off before. Yuyanjia tries to stand behind iBoy, but now with the flag and drag the flash away. Ignite, Doggo flashing again. Crisp looking for it. One more auto. But Yuyanjia will survive. Quite a lot burnt there, including the heal from iBoy, but one summoner now stands in that BLG bottom lane.
Yeah, I mean, BLG using 3 flashes for that play, not able to get anything out from it. It looks so good at first with the fact that WeiWei flashing over the choppers, but still not able to finish it off. I think that's going to lose a lot of momentum, a lot of steam in terms of looking for repeat plays, right? You're not going to have those aggressive summoners to be able to look for anything, especially on iBoy, who didn't have to blow his own flash. And if WeiWei does make his way down, iBoy will easily be able to circumvent that gank.
Right.
So, RA able to keep the advantage that they've been able to amass so far in terms of CS differentials. And even now, going to be able to get some pressure on the map, and Leyan and Yuyanjia want to punish FoFo.
FoFo doesn't have much mana here. 3 people with an instant flash paying the respect to Leyan. He doesn't have the Void Rush yet, guys, but with this mid wave, he's trying to absorb some experience from Strive and Yuyanjia, who are already sharing, and get towards that ulti as soon as possible. Lyric, I like the respect paid because it's a serrated Dirk already on Leyan, who still has a big CS lead in the jungle that just keeps growing.
I mean, yeah, CS advantage growing, but more importantly, look at the left-hand side of the screen. No member of BLG has flashes. None.
Yeah.
None of them have it. So this could be a field day for Leyan for the next few minutes, but for punishing some of these laners on the side of RA. We've already hit on, I think, FoFo and Doggo playing around that bot side is a prime target when you have these immobile carries trying to punish these. And it looks like with the lane priorities that RA has, Leyan wanting to go for something on the bottom half of the map, invading the enemy bot side jungle, and trying to go for some heavy trades to chunk them low to potentially set up a dive, but looks like it won't follow through with Strive going back, and Leyan just wanting to steal away this red buff.
FoFo as well, just checking that one out. Red goes, Leyan takes it. Dragon's there too, guys. And as the Chemtech Dragon starts off our game, note that RA still with that 500 gold lead. CS advantage is what we've been talking about all in this early game, but one that has changed, Lyric, is that top side. Breathe is caught up, now hitting level 6, and pretty neck and neck up in that lane.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened, right? Because you can see Cube's pathing back to lane now, but Cube used his TP not too long ago. So Cube must have gotten forced out of lane in some way after TPing directly to top, which is allowed for Breathe to even out the CS advantage that Cube was able to find before. So nice for him to get back in, especially when we highlighted Breeze's role. Definitely comes online more in the mid game in terms of putting pressure on the back line, just getting in the middle of team fights, throwing down your Shroud. It makes it so iBoy and Strive can't walk forward, and they're consistently questioning what they do, potentially splitting up the team of RA and allowing for Doggo and FoFo to have their own safety in positioning in these team fights.
Well, speaking of, I want you to look at a little bit ahead for me. Herald has just spawned. Dragon was already given over to RA. With this early gold lead with the Rek'Sai, is Herald a sure thing? What do you do here if you're BLG? Is it the point to match?
For RA, I think so, right? We can already see their bot lane heading towards the top side right now. Leyan, surprisingly though, going for a reset, so I want to see how much gold is sitting on. So sitting on a Caulfield's Warhammer, going to be able to come back with a ward as well. And RA, instead of just committing up towards that top side, going to just head straight back down towards bottom. They're now going to have to answer waves, and Yuyanjia and iBoy are separated, cut off by WeiWei.
Yeah, he's coming back to his faithful position. Doggo with ulti now, though. Note that Chris does not have the depth charge, but WeiWei with Cataclysm. Yuyanjia spotted on a ward, and so many tunnels lay here with Leyan ready to path in. The Rek'Sai, who almost to the first item first in this game, is now nearby. So RA's bottom lane won't be split off, won't be called out. At 9 minutes, guys, I know you want to see blood after that exciting game #1, but be patient. We've got ultimates coming up now. We've got these first items that are well and truly on the way with the Herald. Even in this 2v2, brewing here too. Especially with WeiWei, who loves dog. He loves his doggo. Can he get in?
No, I think iBoy and Yuyanjia playing too safely to be punished by WeiWei right now. They've also kept pretty good vision around the bottom side of the map so far. I mean, heck, right? You adjust, you adapt from game one. You see what BLG's focus is. You're like, okay, they're hard camping this bottom side. They either think that's where our weakness is, or they just want to enable their potential star AD carry. And now RA going to answer in kind by going for this Herald. Looks like BLG don't want to give it up for free, though. Both bot laners moving up. BLG having a bit of tempo on RA.
So for now, Leyan targets it. WeiWei's a level behind. Smite for all the same. Q comes in behind. This actually might be a fight. I told you we'd get blood, but it depends. Leyan in the back of the pit, but it's taken by WeiWei. BLG picked this one up, even being late to the show. But now they're scattered. RA with a 5-man group in River. But look at this. They bring everyone up. They get nothing. Only a push wave in the mid lane, Lyric. Bot is even. And that's a big win for BLG for not much.
Still, now RA, I mean, they're getting not only plates, but you're also losing some gold on the side of BLG. I still think it's nice that our BLG were able to get the Herald pretty much for free, but losing out just a little bit. Gold does stay in favor of RA because of that. We gotta assume.
Hang on.
Good Herald play should be able to equalize
Ultimate in the top side. Everyone with a perfect execution at the ready. Breeze goes in on top of Cube. The ignites there. The 5-point strike. And it's first blood. Solo a bolo. Leyan comes in for the trade, but I'll tell you one thing. That gives me hope in Breeze Akali once again as Crisp is around the wing. Herald play through the mid lane, Lyric. It looks like the game is just switched on.
Yeah, and I'm sure we're going to get a replay of that at some point. But right now, BLG pivoting down towards the bottom lane. iBoy needs to be careful. They do have the Rift Herald available as well, so BLG can look to utilize that one here. But RA's bot lane making their way back.
Okay,
I think it shouldn't be able to turn anything for the side of BLG.
I don't know about you, Lyric, but if I was you, Jarvan, and iBoy, I'd be pretty sick of WeiWei so far in this series, who will not just leave them alone.
No, yeah, I mean, WeiWei just living and dying by his bottom lane. Looks like might even just wait around to see if Leyan is also waiting in the wings to perform a gank and a walk in aggressively look for some vision. And I like this, right? Go mid, help your mid laner get prio, pivot to bot lane with your support, make it safe for your AD carry to push up, and then both of you pivot back to mid. So you're kind of constantly pulling RA's support and jungle across the map, and you will always be first since you were the first one to start off this chain of events. And with that, they're able to get some plate gold. They're able to get this mid lane turret low, and if we get a second Herald, they'll be able to take advantage of that. But let's see the sick replay. Breathe, finding the outplay, starts off with the Shroud, quite low on energy, makes you think he could start off both bone platings already proc, and ooh, one missed ult for Q feels pretty massive. E comes out straight to the ult. I mean, that wasn't even close. Yeah. Even with the one missed ulti, maybe it could have meant enough healing reduction, but I think another factor would be the fact that he didn't get a fully charged Q at all onto the Akali, right? He E'd forward, started off with his snip, wasn't stacked, was through Shroud anyway. He got lucky that he even clipped Breathe to begin with.
Well, the trade kill at the end. At least Leyan gets one and he gets his first kill of the game. He's got himself a, I was going to say Pride Stalker. I am definitely a couple of betters behind here. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. I meant the Prowler's Claw. So we do have Rek'Sai who can gap close to BLG's misery as Breeze continues to dominate this lane. And not something we started off this game saying, but definitely something we're going to continue saying at this rate. And Lyric, I'm sorry, we do not have a chem tank Akali. It is a normal build up in this top lane, but all the same, a lot of AP damage we're still going to have to worry about.
Especially for iBoy and Strive, right? I mean, heck, no one gonna index too heavily into MR on the opposite side very early on, but Breeze's getting punished.
Yeah, he is. Level 11 goes in for the perfect execution underneath turret, jumps back in, gets one!
Oh,
Again! Again, he got it! Lyric, how?
Cube is getting absolutely styled on. It's sad to say for the side of RA. Breeze still gets punished, so once again, RA do pick up a kill, you know, from the trade, but the fact that that was a gank is like, man, Breathe being able to pull one back is absolutely massive. And, you know, looking at the rest of the map right now, the other members of RA not able to get anything going forward. Looks like bot lane's going to be transitioning to mid right now. No neutral objectives up on the map. Is FoFo going to look for this?
Sure, he has a flash available, but iBoy has his too, so Look like he'll pull the trigger, and Lyric, you know, we're about to get a replay though. I know what LPL is harbinging right now. They're about to bring us to the reality that Cube got the same thing done to him again as iBoy gets depth charge, the flash immediately, the shockwave back. iBoy did not flash or heal himself, but now with the TP play, the Chaos Storm, this bruised up. A flash over the wall, but Yuyanja's there, dodging away from the Winner's Fight. FoFo with fancy feed. The ultimate from Yuyanja gives Strive an open opportunity, and the Viktor picks up one in return. So Strive on the board here against the former RA mid laner.
RA are doing a nice job of making sure they're at least always getting something for what they're losing, right? This was another thing we highlighted about RA in Game 1, was that they were never giving over anything for free, just about. They were always finding kills, they were always finding vision or camp somewhere else on the map, and that does stay true. But look, guys, there's screens on the top lane. Breathe might do something crazy.
Well, Lyric, every time Leyan's there, that's when it'll happen, okay? Because Leyan's got to get the trade kill, or he's got to help out. Every time if it's a 1v1, it looks pretty scary. Breathe is the level 11 Akali, who's now 20 CS up. And you can see the Cube is pretty scared of this lane at the moment. Lyric, I feel like at this point, you're going to have to give me this mid-game lowdown. Give me the 101 with Herald coming up in 25 seconds with the Dragon in a minute 50. I want to know what it looks like for both these teams and how you play towards either the Akali or even towards Rek'Sai Viktor moving in the next 10 minutes.
Well, like you said, the next thing we're going to be looking at is the Herald, right? So BLG should have the fast track inside of top river control from the fact that Breathe has been able to keep pressure. RA trying to get around that, trying to cheat that, send jungle and support up there first to be able to make their way into river. I think the key things to be looking out for if we're going to get a fight here, because FoFo doesn't have TP, so BLG might just opt in playing towards the bottom half of the map, which is actually what they're going to end up doing. So, yeah, talking about fight setups actually doesn't matter at all, Hysterics.
Okay. Well,
we got no fight.
But what do you, like, let's go a little deeper then. You know, just tell me how you play towards a comp in general as Leyan picks up the Herald, opening up and breaking the map for the Gwen feels like a play that RA can really abuse.
Surprisingly, no. Because with how far behind Cube has fallen, breaking open the map and having these longer lanes, if Gwen would lane into Akali, which I doubt is going to happen, they're probably going to avoid each other, would just benefit Breathe through finding the solo kills. Speaking of kills,
in a 1v2, he didn't want to get caught out here, waited for WeiWei, Breathe is just dead immediately. That's Leyan's burst as the Jarvan with the Cataclysm, but Yuyan just helping out the depth charge in the back line. Strive flashes away, he's built space, and WeiWei actually surviving, and here's Doggo once again. Don't make me do it, guys. He's going to get stunned up by the gravity field. Doggo joins the fight, and RA pay the respect, but Leyan is suddenly becoming a beast here in this game after punishing Breathe again.
And Breathe just feeling himself too much. The confidence is too high. He's got the mood lighting, he's got the BGs playing in the background. Thinking he can 1v2, anyone can. But as we saw, the burst is too much coming out from Leyan.
Big Prowler's Claw. I got the item name right this time. And Lyric after that pick. Leyan moves down to Dragon. This is Salt Point at 18 minutes in the game. It's going to be a Mountain Soul. And RA have just been on top of these objectives so early on. It feels like this game have a lot more control, have a lot more to play with. As we look at Breathe getting caught out in the brush by a lens.
Yeah, gets caught up by the lens, Q gets shot out. I mean, he is just deleted instantly. Both ultimates were committed from RA. We see Cataclysm coming out there hoping to be able to catch Strive out, but sadly, no damage dealers here just yet. FoFo and Doggo both only just arriving, and by this point, especially with the gravity field being dropped by Strive, the members of RA are able to get out scot-free.
I don't know who Scott is, but yeah, it definitely feels free. It's a 2-3 Akali up on the top side.
Wait.
Even with the CS
Whenever I say the word free, you know what I think? You know who says the word free best in the world? Kobe. You know the inflatable armband video he did? And they is free.
Yeah, I remember. And I feel like, you know, after you came back from doing MSI, doing your World semi-final, you know, now you're back with the NA brethren.
I'm washed.
Well, I was going to say that, but sure, you're washed. I feel like there's been a big conversation over the past couple of days about what washed truly means. Yeah, you're washed. That's okay, though. So I'm washed, too. I'm getting old, and, you know, I always wanted to be a pro player, but now I'm 26, which means I'm too old. So what it means is, you know, I have to give that up and either teach casting or continue casting myself. Maybe I can't be as good as Doggo at this point. But, you know, I can still try and get platinum one day, Lyric.
Look,
that's the truth.
it just goes, those who can't do coach, and those who can't coach cast. So here we are, but I don't care about that. WeiWei being spotted by Leyan. But
Void Rush.
absolutely nothing can happen to it. But let's go back to a point you were making earlier, right? About these elongated side lanes. Because we can already see in the bottom one, right? Cube is the one who has to pay respect, sitting under his turret, waiting for Breathe to push it out, which gives Breathe more windows on the map to be able to roam. So right now, gonna go for that reset. And he could path towards mid right now, considering that Cube isn't just going to be able to answer that wave immediately. And then if something breaks out towards mid, you're already close to that lane as the top laner. Don't have to waste your TP. If not, you start pathing down towards the bottom lane once again and just catch your wave. So that's kind of the cycle we're looking at for Breathe right now. And then once we get into team fights, like we were hitting on earlier, his role is going to be pivotal. Whether it's coming off on a flank from pushing out that side lane first, being able to wrap around from the jungle, or even just coming in off a side and throwing down your Shroud. That is how you find the impact on the fight you need. And then, of course, if he hits an E or an ultimate on iBoy or Strive and can find a pick, that is huge. But just the amount of time and space he can create will be massive.
But what about within River? Because in 2 minutes' time, RA are going to pull BLG to this Sol. And it's going to be a big deal to watch how Breed interacts as Chris gets away in the very nick of time. So, yeah, I got a lot of questions about what happens around this next objective that's coming up soon.
I definitely think if RA are the team to just send like 4 or 5 members mid, like if they match the same amount of members mid that BLG send, I think RA should be the team that is able to get prio through mid, so they should be able to walk into River as a unit. BLG probably would have to contest either through ramps or through the bottom lane like a hit on with Breathe having that push. But either way, BLG should have an avenue into River to where they can fight out. RA will have an opportunity to try to poke them out and force them off, with iBoy and Strive being there first. And then you will have BLG coming into you, which is what you want. Which is why I say I think a lot of the fight depends on what Breathe is able to do. Because everything else should be pretty stock and standard. RA trying to kite out the other 4 members of BLG. This Akali just has so much mobility and so much kill pressure, she can really split the fight, pull RA's members in different ways, and put it in BLG's favor.
See, with the second item, the Shadow Flame just picked up as well. Breathe going to be the focus, guys. You heard it from Lyric. In 45 seconds, the Dragon spawns. BLG in River first, though. As wards get dropped down by RA, they've done their due diligence. They've got Strive around the wing. And they've even got the Scuttle Crab as well. So for BLG, there's no way they can really be in a position in River that is not completely watered out. Now, as I say that, BLG clear vision, so I'm wrong. And Breathe, that flanking angle, Lyric, you wanted to talk about where he enters from, bottom side River.
We're going to be keeping an eye on him, especially we see iBoy right now.
Spotted.
iBoy might be vulnerable. Breathe going to have a great angle to be able to get on this AD carry.
Well, he's going to be standing over, but they do spot him out. iBoy Q running straight towards him. Leyan and Yuanja on the wing. This is Sol for Rare Adam. Also want to point out that Shockwave, a big tool as well. But Leyan, you have to get rid of the shield that stands over him, the spell shield that'll ruin everything. That's what FoFo's trying to do right now as Dragon starts off. For RA, they're zoning Breathe. iBoy and Yuanja doing this solo, but every time that happens, BLG going back to the Dragon, now trying to 50-50 it down, but Leyan nearby at 1k, going back in, but it's secured by Doggo on the back end. Breathe already in, trying to find iBoy. Cataclysm layers them down as well. Doggo's ulti is blocked by a golden Yuanja. Sol denied, fight ends there. Cube takes us back to sewing class, but we didn't pay the tuition fees, so we'll wait till the next Sol fight.
Man, that was so tense coming in for both teams. I like that RA realized, okay, we need to dedicate members to zoning off Breathe. I mean, if we know it, they know it. He is the big member who can just cause so much chaos on RA's side. If you get a coordinated engage coming out from WeiWei and Breathe onto that back line, then RA are just done for. But still, RA did a great job of not over-committing in any one direction. They were kiting out the fight, and thank God, because I started talking about this fight too early because it was super cool. We get the replay instantly. I mean, BLG start the Dragon first. We do see a nice shockwave hitting from FoFo, but RA keep formation. You just need to keep your Braum in front, try and play off that range advantage that you do have, and ultimately, they're able to dish out more damage than they received, especially coming from things like the Chaos Storm and the needlework from Cube. So I think you saw both teams realizing how, like, overall, how they should be playing out these fights, other than, like, a few small nitpicky things.
Yep.
But ultimately, denying the soul is a huge win for the side of BLG. But, I mean, man, this game is still even. 40K to 40K.
Yeah, I mean, 1,000 is all that separates in BLG's favor, but talked about denying the soul. They're going to do that again. In 3 minutes 30, they have to do that again against Rare Adam. And we're hitting 2, almost 3 item points for some of these core carries as well. So I feel like, you know, at that point, it's going to be a lot more explosive. We are going to see members getting shredded down. People like Breed that we've been keeping our eye on too. That should be an Akali with close to 3 items. That makes life a little bit more scary for iBoy, who's going Infinity Edge 3rd, rather than something that can keep him safe. So I guess the Gale Force is a tool that we'll also have to keep track of.
Both AD carries just itemizing for maximum amounts of damage. Doggo also going for the Collector over LDR this game. I mean, there are a lot of squishy members on the side of RA if you account for Leyan going the Assassin build, but still there's a Mountain Soul on the Rift, which I think makes it somewhat questionable, but hey, you know, did start obviously as the full item now, so I don't know if he started building that before it came on the Rift, but yeah, that argument's been hashed out 100,000 times, so I'm not going to hash out that argument, as we see RA will be able to get a turret.
Thought Leyan was going to do the old-fashioned, the gank setup that we've seen constantly throughout this game, hovering around Cube in this second game. So this time around, Breathe will stay safe, but it is turret for turret. Outers finally go down. The only one standing, actually BLG's mid lane turret. So as that stays there, you can notice that RA are actually 2,000 gold down. But again, we wait, ladies and gentlemen. It may only be 7 kills in 26 minutes, but this game, more tense than going to McDonald's and realizing that Big Mac's on sale, but the Quarter Pounder is as well. You don't know which one to get. You're standing there, and you're thinking, man, what do I actually feel like? And while you're standing there, you make up your mind, and, you know, once you do, you want to twist and turn. Has absolutely nothing to do with this game and makes no sense, but I just thought you should know, I'm starving. And it's Lyric, what time is it? It's 12:45. I want some answers. It's
6:45 a.m.
Well, you should get some McDonald's breakfast. We're not sponsored though. The point is, we want someone to make up their mind. We want to see these big decisive fights so we can get our answer. And that's what I'm getting at here, ladies and gentlemen. I took my time, but BLG.
Well, you got it. You did it. You willed it into existence. BLG. They know that the backs came out from RA. They still are looking for a turn, but look, Crisp is on a ward. RA know exactly what they're doing. Even the control ward over the wall now.
It's gone. Doggo gets it, just like the other objective. Doggo not only picked up the Dragon to deny soul, he picks up the Baron. Who needs Smite, Lyric?
That was one of the most, like, anticlimactic situations there was, right? You're like, okay, RA's coming. Both teams are here. The Smite steal, the fight. And it's like, okay, well, Doggo just secures it, and then everyone just walks away.
Well, Lyric, it's
I guess to go with your analogy, it's like when you're picking between the Quarter Pounder and the Big Mac, and you just decide, I just want some ice cream, and then you get it. And
Okay. You shouldn't quote my analogy. You'll come down in the hole where I am anyway. Chris ready for the dredge line in this game. Well, we still haven't seen a kill for quite a while, but it's soul time once again. Cube caught out. The Flag and Dragon in the backline while Breathe is dealing with him. This Gwen perfectly executed. Doesn't get a chance to heal it up. Dragon not started, but WeiWei is low. And this jungler, I don't know if he smites early here, Lyric. He doesn't have it available, but RA are losing their mid laner. Well,
yeah, Breathes TP is looking to come in. Super Mega Death Rocket completely whiffs.
Look at FoFo. On the wing, Yuyanjia puts up the door, but the Shockwave, no! Ooh. Only gets Leyan's Knight's Vow. And as he backs away, I know that's called Edge of Night, not Knight's Vow, ladies and gentlemen, but soul denied again, despite a couple of whiffs. BLG hang on, they even with the Baron buff pick up the mid lane tier 2, so gold continues to rise in their favor in this series.
This is the most impressive thing about BLG in both this game and last game so far, right? Game, even a solid 80% of the time. Then they make one really decisive decision, and bam, they find the lead, and the game just completely snowballs in their favor. The gold was, what, 1K in favor of RA like 2 minutes ago? Now BLG have a 5K gold advantage. We're going to see here, though, this is what it's about. Cube kind of making a mistake, dashes forward, and we are hitting on Breed and WeiWei, coordinating their engagement, being able to find someone. In this case, it was Cube, because Cube just decided to go off by himself and, you know, venture into the wilderness. But if BLG can replicate that on almost any target other than Yuyanja, then they will just instantly be deleted. You have that man advantage necessary to be able to continue the fight. And then, again, it sets up for Doggo and FoFo as well. But Chris,
might have to put the door down once again. The ultimate there, the Glacial Fissure, not going to be laid down until now, but he's out. Doggo sends the ulti down the path. WeiWei the next target, but he has the GA as Chris flashes forward. Wants this to end. The shockwave catching the jungler. Chris going golden, but Doggo ready with the shurikens once again. And look at this with Cube on the backline. Doggo runs into his circle. He goes golden, and Cube now at half HP, but Strive's there. Doggo flashes away, still alive. This man is wild again. We howl for the new 80 carry for BLG Lyric as they look to end it all here.
Yeah, they're going to go for the push, and I think they have it. Only 3 members on the side of RA Live. No ultimates either.
I want to watch iBoy here because the Strive rolls in as well. One Nexus turret already going down. The Shockwave not up and available. 15 seconds with WeiWei. Cataclysm's in. Breathe sent off. BLG don't have the health bars nor the jungler anymore. I'm watching for FoFo though, because in 5 seconds he should have that shockwave available if they want to turn and burn, but it's over for here. But definitely for RA, not over in this series yet.
Nice push coming out from BLG. I even think WeiWei dying at the end is worth. Because you think about it, right? He was going to die no matter what if he cataclysmed. He cataclysms, he gets iBoy's flash. So you think about it, he'll be up again in 23 seconds. There's no objectives on the map. RA aren't able to take a Baron, no Dragon, no turrets, literally nothing. And you just were able to take away the flash from Jinx. So for BLG now, you can start trying to play around some of these side waves and using the pressure from super minions in mid, as we see the replay here. Chris finding the hook onto Yuyanja. Looks like maybe he'll be able to get away because Braum is a pretty good anti-int champion. Very hard to die on. And Chris, man, he just doesn't miss. Flash into the next hook. Sets up once again, and this is where Doggo starts to take over, puts the damage out. 1v1ing Cube, gets the stopwatch, and has the red and white guns for the let's fight. And yeah, this game 5 minutes ago was like a 1K gold lead for RA.
Now, 6,000 gold. 2 Mountain Dragons, which have been 2 soul denials from Rare Adam. The Baron as well that Doggo secured. A 3-item Aphelios. 3.5 here for FoFo's Orianna. And 3.5 can be said the same for Breathe. Now, for Rare Adam to keep themselves alive in this series, to pull back that 6,000 gold lead. Again, we've been talking a lot about people, you know, like Cube, like Leyan. I think important to note here, 3.5 item Viktor for Strive. Importantly, iBoy's starting to catch up. And while Doggo has just picked up a GA, I see a stopwatch in iBoy's inventory. It's still a Jinx. And Jinx is hitting late game now at the 33-minute mark.
So it'll be rough at this point, but in terms of formations and how the comps play out, realistically, if RA could kite out the initial engage from BLG, I mean, then they could just do what we saw earlier in River when they lost Dragon, of them just kiting out the members of BLG and BLG having to be the ones to disengage. The problem then is that RA don't have any re-engage, right? You're pretty much reliant on Leyan then being able to go in and flash knock up someone, but Leyan is also very squishy himself and can get bursted out immediately at this point in the game.
They're walking in. Again, Edge of Night has been taken with the spell shield. Excuse me, with the flag, but you know what I mean, guys? Yuyanja getting a little bit low. Crisp on the angle for a hook. That dredge line has been deadly. And his depth charge to pick someone else out as well. Yuyanja on the wing, only level 11 here. And he's actually been caught by Breathe. It's not a solo kill, but I'll take it. RA lose their support, and Lyric, Baron again, this one goes even freer.
RA are reacting appropriately, though. They were trying to clear out mid-wave, so they don't have any tools to push with, and they're going to instantly take the Dragon. So RA are going to have Soul.
But they're going to go back to the base. Lyric, the ping's going through mid, and okay, maybe not as hypey as I thought. Soul given over. BLG get the Baron for it. And, you know, when you're this far behind, that kind of feels okay.
Yeah, you're in a game where you should be losing everything, and you just got a soul, right? I mean, realistically, BLG could have been the ones to just push them off of mid, walk to Dragon Pit, you take Dragon Pit, and it's like, sure, you don't gain Baron, but you also didn't lose soul, and you could have put yourself in a position where you could have taken Baron, whatever it is, 30 seconds, a minute later.
Yeah.
So I definitely think relative to what could have happened and probably should have happened, RA are happy with that trade.
Breathe the Shuriken flip over the wall. The Mountain Soul going to block a lot of the damage we're talking about here. WeiWei jumping in again. The death charge in the back line. BFG want to end here. Cataclysm for WeiWei as he goes into GA. Kind of secures it, but Breathe into the back line. The Akali doing work, and Doggo from the other end. It's beautiful from BLG. They sacrifice jungle support, but everyone's still there. And no Shuriken flip follow-up here, Lyric, but with the Baron buff and the Nexus turret standing, BLG want to make it a clean 2-0. It's been about Doggo here today. It's been about BLG remaining undefeated as they 2-0 the Rare Atom.
And BLG are still showing us that bringing all of these star players from other teams can work together on paper. Doggo coming over, FoFo, like Breathe, it just works so well. Doggo popping off in one game, Breathe taking over in the other. Crisp had a phenomenal series, man. He was not missing any skill shots. And, you know, I feel like sometimes we're too positive. Maybe